Well, of course, this is impacting everyone around the world who uses these platforms. Three of the most popular platforms on social media. It's not just the United States and Europe, but in South America, across the Middle East and Africa as well. People are reporting that they have problems, and that's been going on for several hours now. There was an outage back in 2019. It lasted for just about an hour, and they said that that was essentially a problem with the Facebook infrastructure that was fixed. And then there were smaller outages in March and also in July. And this, the fact that it's gone on for so long, has led to speculation. Is this another infrastructure problem that can be easily fixed? Or is there a possibility that Facebook has been attacked by ransomware people? People who essentially hold up their service and demand millions of dollars to free up the codes to get things back to normal. We know there were several attacks like that at the end of last year and the beginning of this year here in the United States. In fact, several companies paid out millions of dollars to people who'd committed these ransomware attacks. And there was a big concern in the United States at the time, warning companies to make sure that their security infrastructure was first class. Now, we're not saying that that has happened here, but clearly when they can take out big fish like they did earlier this year, going after Facebook would essentially be like chasing a whale and landing it. So there's a lot of questions still to be answered by Facebook, and all of this builds into the issues that Facebook are facing elsewhere. In fact, just a few hours ago, they were in a court here in Washington, D.C., arguing against a government order that they should sell WhatsApp and Instagram. The government says that essentially they have become a monopoly. Facebook says that's simply not the case, and the government needs to let them trade the way they trade. Well, they won't be doing much of that. I certainly haven't been doing it over the last few hours, and they could still face several more hours of being black.
Exactly, Alan, because when you look at how much power is actually in the hands of Facebook, they've got 2.5 billion users just on Facebook. Instagram, I think, is another billion. WhatsApp, we were just saying, is the world's largest messaging app. It really is concentrated all with them, and it reminds everyone that these apps, these social media platforms, are often used for work as well.
But then the counter-argument from Facebook, and I'm certainly not representing them here, is that there are other apps that people use. TikTok has seen an explosion in users over the last 18 months to 2 years, particularly during lockdown, and also Twitter, which has gone out and actually said, hi everybody, because they realise that a lot of Facebook users will be heading towards Twitter. And that is the worry for Facebook, that while it's down, other people will find other platforms and suddenly think, actually, I like this a lot more than I like Facebook, or I like Instagram, or I like WhatsApp. I'm going to use this instead. And we've seen that reflected on the markets that Facebook have this problem. They are down several percent on the New York Stock Exchange just in the last couple of hours of trading. So for every hour that they are dark, that they can't get their service up and running, it's costing them money now and could well cost them money in the future.
Alan Fisher with the latest from Washington, D.C. Alan, I'll see you on Snapchat. For the moment, thank you. Now,